To kick off this video, big thanks to the Witch Wizard Discord, specifically the Witch Wizard Guide, also the YouTube channels Looney Storm and Soul Zero. Without these resources, I wouldn't have known where to even start making this guide, so thank you again. All these channels and links will be located below. Welcome to my Succession Witch Guide. After the buffs to Suck Witch about a month ago, I decided that I wanted to give that spec a shot and see if I could learn it. It was a little intimidating at first. I know Suck Witch is not an easy spec to play. Awakening Witch is my main and I've been playing her for a very long time. So for me, playing Awakening Witch is like... and playing Suck Witch is like... You get the picture. In a lot of ways, my foray into Suck Witch is just beginning, but I wanted to put together a guide to help others who wanted to try her out. This guide is for folks who want to try Suck Witch PVE and need a little help getting started. Succession Witch is one of the best PVE classes in the game, period. If you can master her, you're good to the end of in-game in BDO. She dishes out a ton of damage. Her AoE isn't quite as much as her awakened form, but it's still quite good. She has self-buffs and self-heals, and as we'll get into later, she is one of the more unique classes in terms of how her skills work. She is very high APM, her playstyle involves a lot of rapid spellcasting to keep up her damage momentum, and this also involves a lot of cooldown management. She has very limited mobility compared to other classes. She has limited protection. I would say Suck Witch philosophy is the best defense is offense. Kill things before they have a chance to become a threat. She's not great at early game. In fact, she just doesn't work as intended until level 59 when she gets her last passive. Let's talk about how to build Succession Witch. As I alluded to before, Suck Witch is unique in that when it comes to picking out her skills, you actually have a choice in what prime skills to use. Most of these boil down to PvE or PvP stances. It can be a little overwhelming at first, so I'm just going to go through and tell you which skills to pick for PvE. Prime Multiple Magic Arrows, Prime Earth Arrow, Prime Fireball, although this doesn't actually do that much in terms of damage and it isn't really used in her rotation. Prime Fireball Explosion Spread, Prime Meteor Shower Focus, Prime Voltaic Discharge Diffuse, Prime Lightning Storm Strike, Prime Lightning, Prime Residual Lightning High Voltage, Prime Freeze, Prime Frigid Fog Control, Prime Blizzard Domain, Prime Earthquake Destruction, Prime Earth's Response Flow, Prime Voltaic Pulse, and Prime Equilibrium Break. And of course, grab all of your secondary skills and passives and your Magnus skill. Lock Dagger Stab. These are the skills I recommend adding to a quick slot. Between Voltaic Pulse and Speed Spell, you should have 100% uptime on your 20% casting speed. For Rabams, I really only use Sage's Light as an emergency heal. The other Rabams can be utilized in niche situations, but I find myself not really needing them for my overall grind. Finally, in some spots you might find that your mana is draining quickly, even with an infinite pot. If this is happening, you can tap the spacebar to use mana absorption on the mobs. For movement, Teleport and Ultimate Teleport are going to be your pack-to-pack skills. Magical Evasion is your spammable PvE iframe. Your Witch is going to be hopping around like a jackrabbit most of the time to position for back attacks due to her limited mobility skills. Prime Earth Response is a protected movement that has minus 20 magical damage reduction on hits. Just tap LMP after a Magical Evasion to cast on your packs. Like her Awakening form, Succession Witch doesn't have a true infinite combo. Rather, there are skills that you should always cast when they are off cooldown. The big skill is MMA. Always cast MMA off cooldown. Next is Voltaic Pulse for the casting speed. In fact, if Voltaic Pulse is not on cooldown, it can mess with the rotation of your other skills, so always cast that skill when it's available. The rest of her skill set is casting and chaining her spells around these two primary skills. Okay, this is important. Succession Witch's gimmick is that there is no cast time if a prime skill is followed by a prime skill. Her strength lies in the fact that she can spam her spells constantly, but this means you must be super active in your grind. To put it plainly, if you see that casting bar, you fuck up. The good news is that magical evasion counts towards this requirement. Here's what I mean. If I cast Voltaic Pulse by itself, you see that casting bar. If I use magical evasion beforehand, it insta-casts like it should. This is where the high PM of Suck Witch comes from. There is no downtime if you want to maximize your damage. I hope I'm not making it sound too intimidating. I'm just trying to emphasize that you will need a decent amount of practice to get used to this playstyle and get comfortable with the rotation of her skills. As you can see on my screen, this is roughly the order of prioritization on the skills. Yes, I have the key presses there as well. Don't judge me. Okay, let's go through a combo and slow it down a bit. Speed Spell, Magical Evasion, Voltaic Pulse, MMA, Frigid Fog, Prime Lightning, Residual Lightning, Meteor Shower Focus, MMA, Equilibrium Break, Fireball Explosion, Earthquake Destruction, Blizzard Domain, Voltaic Pulse, MMA, Voltaic Discharge. All remaining skills in her kit are used more for filler if you run out of these damage skills. For Lightstones, when Succession Witch is at the gear cap, Vicious Shadows or target openings will be the play, depending on if you can consistently get back attacks or not. If under cap, all-out attack or species damage is also a good option. These are my skill add-ons. These are not the be-all end-all of skill add-ons, so feel free to tweak them to suit your needs. That about wraps up the basics. Like I said before, Suck Witch has a high skill ceiling, but very rewarding if you can master her playstyle. I would not say that I've mastered Suck Witch myself, but I will keep practicing to utilize her giga damage at high-end spots. I hope this was helpful in getting you started on your Succession Witch journey. If you made it this far, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I'm working on more guides for BDO. If there's something you'd really like to see a quick guide for, please leave a suggestion in the comments down below. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye for now!